Kindly indulge me. I think I have Musah on the line now. Please indulge me. Let me get to him, but I'll still come back to the organic point that you were making. And Musah, thank you very much for staying with us and joining us again. But let me go straight to the point. Before we come to Akwatia and the data you've put out since this morning, all of us are following and all of us are commenting on your page on Facebook and other social media platforms. But to begin with, what is happening with the NPP FLAGBEARERship contest? Who is in the lead? What can you tell us?
Right. Thank you very much. The first survey we did among delegates suggests that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is leading the race with 52% among people who have committed to vote for him. Then you have 17% who have committed to vote for Kennedy Japan. 3% are saying same for Brian Achampo, and 1% for Educhum. However, about 9% of them say that they have made up their mind, but they won't tell us who they intend to vote for. Historically, we have come to know that these people are normally Ken voters. So if I was among Baumia's people, I will add this 9% to Ken's numbers. Then you have 18%. The 18% are people who took part in the last election. They may have voted Kennedy or Bawumia or whatever. But at the moment, they have not made up their mind yet. They say they are undecided. So that the battle for the MPP primaries will be fought among this group of people, 18%.
So even though Bawumia is at 52%, Ken is at 17%, you cannot call it as of now. And of course, for posters, you have a lot of time between now and 31st January for lots of dynamics, lots of changes, and so on and so forth. But you are telling us here and now that the fight is over the 18% and not even the 9% who have decided but are not telling you.
Yeah, because if you look at how they've dealt with us in the past, normally there are people who are anti-establishment. They will not tell you people. In the last election, in the last poll of MPP delegates, that number was about 14%. Since MPP has lost power, that number has declined, but that anti-establishment is still there. So we believe that that 9% is still Kennedy supporters. But the 18% may be genuinely people who are yet to be convinced as to why they should vote for Bawumia or why they should vote for Kennedy. Now, if you look at where Bawumia is, he's kind of over the 50% plus one that they need. So for Ken to win this race, he needs to go into Bawumia's farm and get some yam from the farm, in addition to the 18%. So they all have what to do. You can't take it for granted that you are ahead, so you go to sleep. No.
But so you're telling me that for want of a better word, the noise that we hear in the space, or the should I say perception? I don't know if how that works for you. And I'm struggling because you deal with hard facts, hardcore data, so we cannot just bandy anything around. And so you're telling me that well, let me use the noise from the masses as it is put out there, that the masses are clamoring for Ken. When you go to trotro stations, when you go to beer bars, when you go to chop bars, when you go to artisanal centers, the markets, and so on and so forth, really doesn't mean anything as of now, per your polls?
No, the artisans and the people around the country do not vote in MPP primaries. It's the delegates. So maybe the delegates are not hearing what the masses are saying. And if you look at the masses, the race is not different from what the poll has shown. In fact, if you look at the poll we conducted in the July for the tracking poll among all voters, Bawumia was around 5-6%. So not too far away from what delegates are saying. But this is a matter of delegates. And you know, delegates, they have self-interest. We don't know how they're going to react come the election day. But so far, I think I can say that Bawumia is ahead, but it's not well ahead. It's not comfortably ahead to go and sleep.
But I see that from your data, Dr. Brian Achampo is rising, and we have his spokesman on the line and his aide on the line also listening to you. I'm sure that he'll want to take some notes and use it in their strategy or re-strategizing. is he performing so far with the 3%? Looking at when he entered the race as a first-timer and people getting to know him and so on and so forth. Is there anything also that he can do? So two, first of all, is he performing? Secondly, anything per the data that they can do to turn the tide eventually about 4 or 5 months? So January 31st, between now and January 31st.
You know, everybody has to look at the data with a bit of optimism because no door has been shut on anybody. If you look at the work we've done, we have helped them by giving them details of every region and where they can find those who are undecided, where they can find those who say they won't tell us, where they will find those who support Bawumia and those who support Kennedy. It's up to them to see the data in a very positive way and see what that can help them to do in their campaign. But I won't say anybody is rising because this is the baseline poll. Baseline poll, you have nothing to compare against it. But future, which is in sometime in October, the survey will be repeated again and we'll see where they are moving. Oh, so your next poll is in October? Yes, for NPP delegates. We'll see how that is also going. But for now, which of them do you think will be a formidable? You hear Dr. Bawumia's people saying that he's the most formidable candidate. You would hear, of course, Ken also saying he's the most formidable candidate. Pius is just telling me that when you look at the critical factors that people call for into an elections, and it has played out at least in the last 2, 3, 4 elections, you'll talk about unity of your party, first of all. You'll talk about the youth. The youth is forming a chunk of the voting population, and so you need to relate and resonate with the youth. And then most importantly, jobs. Pius is saying that Dr. Brian Champon has spoken to all the people, and he is the most formidable candidate on all of these 3 points. Who do you think? I mean, based on what he's saying, based on what Ken has been saying, based on what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been saying, who do you think will be the most formidable to face off with the NDC in 2028? Look, I don't want to prefer opinion on something I don't have hard facts at the moment. I always like to stick with the facts. If I have the data, I won't shy in the data. For now, I don't have that data. When data comes, we'll talk about it. I think by October, when we run our head-to-head polls, we'll see who is a formidable force to face NDC in 2028. But you may have done a trend analysis of the performances so far, previously, currently, and probably into the future. So maybe some projections. Are you not able to project at all? Post-election, we have not done any head-to-head where Bawumia comes face-to-face with NDC potential candidate or Brian or anybody else. So on that basis, I'll not be able to give you any trend. And again, let me ask this. Alan Chematin is not part of the New Patriotic Party anymore. They have extended an arm of amnesty to people who left the party in the run-up to the previous elections. But if he wants to come back, they are with open arms, even though it is with conditions. If Dr. Alan Chematin, not doctor, if Alan Chematin was in the race, would it have made any difference? Currently, I mean, look, I don't want to speculate. I don't. You see, I don't speculate. I work with hard facts. If I put his name out there, then I can see how he's performing. For that fact, I don't want to be just commentator.